Today on Blueprint, I'm going to be showing you and giving you my thoughts on the base building in the builder base. So let's dive in and see how these bases are designed. What is up guys, it's TK and welcome back to Blueprint. I'm going to show you this layout right here today and talk you through what made me decide to build this way, and also of course the stage 2. So this is going to be the builder base video that we don't have too often on the channel, but let's dive in and talk about it. Now guys, I've built this base for the ground attacks. It's anti-ground, but I'm going to tell you some few tips if you need it to be on the air and if you get attacked a lot more with the air attacks. Now the anti-ground style bases, usually they're gonna have two crushers, as you can see right here. So we got one crusher on the right and one on the left. Now this building right here is one of the most important ones because a lot of people kind of go and start their hero on that building because they don't have too much of the, just clean up troops on their armies. It's just major armies, so they're not gonna drop a P.E.K.K.A, and if they do, that's even better. But they're gonna drop one of their main things on that, which means once they're done with that building, they're gonna be coming downwards on either side. This is where we have these little walls right here, forcing these troops after the army camp to dive into the crushers. That's where the damage starts to deal. We got cannon, we got of course a splash damage defense with that roaster, we got a ricochet, the multi-cannon and the mega Tesla in the core, trying to avoid the heavy entrance that is coming from those troops. Now looking at the walls, the most important thing is to avoid the wall breaker ability, right? But look at the amount of compartments we got. We got one here, here, and one here. They are so separated. Any angle you drop a wall breaker, let's say from the lower side, it's not gonna open the base. If you drop it from the right, it could open these two compartments, but then these two are still not open. So you can see how already, like, looking at that wall breaker value is one of the key things to defend ground attacks. Now we do have a ground expo, which is really good, covering all the base, and of course we do have the lava launcher a bit more into the corner, so if they're attacked from the lower side, they're gonna reach it super late, and if they're attacked from the top side, that's when they're gonna be dealing with the mega Tesla and of course the guard post, which will be coming in front, and very heavy point defenses and splash defenses for the back end. So if they lose a lot of troops, they're not going to be able to finish that base off. And this is how you can see we have a corridor for this base for the heroes and for the troops to dive in basically, and the heavy damage starts at the beginning, whereas they need to pop, if they have a giant or something, they need to pop their giant ability really quickly, meaning the later stages onto the attack, they won't have that ability anymore, and it's really helpful. Now let's talk about how to make this base a bit more anti-air, because obviously we do have also some of these push traps for the cannon carts that I've been putting. You can see when we have that lava launcher, no one's gonna drop a cannon cart on the top side, and we do have, for example, a cannon and the roaster here, so this push trap is going to be a key. I've tested it and a lot of people been dropping it on that side. We do have more push traps and of course one mega bomb on the air just to deal some heavy damage on those baby dragon snipes, and more mega bombs and mines on the air on this side. And we have another bait for that, push traps and just giant bombs and bombs for those cannon carts. That's basically it for the ground. Now let's say you want to put it on air. What I would suggest you firstly is to drop this expo on the air, because we already got a lot of point defenses on the ground. That's why the last base is so toxic for the ground attackers. It's because most of these air defenses and air damage defenses also target ground. So like the roaster, like the archer towers, like the mega Teslas, even like something like, for example, these guard posts, like they still damage the air as well. But that's how it would have to go. Now the later stage, what I would suggest you is to remove this lava launcher and put one of those air bombs like this one. You can put it back, and don't worry, we're going to talk about the second stage more. And if you are getting hit with a lot of air, you don't really have those kind of push traps for the cannon cart. So you can remove them and start putting those air traps on the top side. And we are actually getting a break right now as we speak. I think this is for the bug that it was just in the game for those streak events. So yeah, it's gonna be weird now. This is gonna be on our screen. Let me see if I can do something about it. I don't think I can, but still, let's remove those bombs. And of course here, and we do have some bombs on the second stage, so what I would recommend you is to remove these as well and put it on the areas where you think they're gonna drop baby dragons. So on this base, there could be on this side, so you can put that on the air. You can see how we can spread these around. These are for the baby dragon snipes. Now there is going to be some certain attackers that if you watch your replay, you're going to see a lot of spammers with their loons and the minions. They might start just from one certain side. So after watching a few replays, you can just fully put all your traps, for example, on this lower side. Now I wouldn't suggest you to remove crushers even though you're building for the air, but what I would suggest is to remove the postcard, drop this expo a bit higher, and you can go ahead on the second stage and remove one of the firecrackers, put the postcard around this area and bring that air defense on this side. This will give you triple air defense, expo and the Mega Tesla in the core of the base, heavily supported with the crushers for that ground hero that people might send for a Sui. But you can see how this 4-5 combination of kind of damage and heavy damage defenses can deal to the baby dragons with the air traps. This is going to be a very toxic heavy air anti-air base, and it's going to help you out a lot to push trophies. Now to the second stage, let me actually cancel this so I can go back and we can see the main second stage. Now this is where I put it for, I would say, balanced version of a lot of armies, because obviously we got hogs coming from the second stage. A lot of people love to drop an extra cannon cart. It's a lot harder to defend the second stage, but I tried my best. So we have 4 very anti-air stuff, and I don't know why this air defense didn't get cancelled. You know, I think, okay, no, that air defense was at the beginning. Okay, never mind, I was wrong. So one thing I'm gonna do is to try to show you that we got Teslas on the areas where I think they might drop that cannon cart. So we got a Tesla on this side, which of course this cannon cannot target cannon carts, but the archer tower is supporting that entire area and the mortar is supporting the entire top area. So you don't need Teslas in front of these, but you need Teslas where there's cannons and multi-cannons or double cannons, however you want to call it. Now on this one I have a core auto hot because of course it gives that extra star, which is really important on the second stage. On the first stage, like the town hall is not that, you know, kind of important. You mainly want to defend. If you have a town hall in the core, it's gonna be harder to build a base around it, just because of course sometimes you might lose on some walls and stuff. So if you're new to the base building, I would not recommend the town hall in the core or something. If you can move around. I do build some teaser bases and they are the ones with the town hall around that core side of the base. But talking more about the second stage, we got the spring traps around the areas where there's going to be hog riders coming into the base. I have some air traps, as you can see. Some people like to drop those, you know, baby dragons if they have extra and they're low HP, so it's really good to get them lower and then the air defenses finish them off. You can see any side of the entrance of this base has an air defense targeting those baby dragons. Now again, looking at the wall breaker ability, the only possible way they can wall break everything throughout this base and open it up is a very like I would say kind of lucky wall breaker, that if they drop it really close here and they pop it, they can open this one. But you can see the angle is a bit bad. Also, if they drop it a bit further away, this wall will kind of be still not open. So these two compartments with the multi and the, you know, double cannons, they are further away from each other, meaning one of them will always kind of try its best to try and not get open. So it's good for those heroes because Zappies will keep those ground attacks in the core. Meanwhile, you got 2 cannons and 2 double cannons shooting those defenses and basically not defenses, troops. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the way I explained this, you know, whole entire base building system. Of course, I told you what to do with the anti-air. A lot of people been attacking with the anti-air, I know, that's why I wanted to mention it. So in case you also been getting hit with a lot of air attacks, this is how you can change it around, and hopefully you guys understood what was going through my mind when I was building this type of bases. And in general, just try my best to help you out a lot if you want to also get into base building in the builder base. But hopefully again you enjoyed this video. The link will be down below in the description, and hopefully we'll see you soon in future. Take care and peace.